see me.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Esac back again with another video. I like to welcome y'all to GEEK-SHOCK, you know what I mean? It's a channel where we sit and review different watches. It started off with just strictly G-Shocks, you know what I mean? Because I have a big, extensive collection of G-Shock, and now it's transitioned to different types of watches, you know what I mean? For example, today, we taking a look at an iconic timepiece. This piece right here in front of us is the Seestern 62 Mas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Seestern for their beautiful homage of the Seiko 62 Mas. For those that are not familiar with Seiko and the 62 Mas, the 62 Mas was released in 1965, y'all. 1965 was the release of the Seiko 62 Mas, or the 6217-8000. It was nicknamed 62 Mas because the first two numbers in the movement was the 6217-8000. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Seiko though. They've been in this game for many years. They are a heritage staple watch house. They do beautiful watches. But if you're trying to cop a original 62 Mas, you're going to pay an arm and a leg for it. And then just given the condition, you're going to be paying more. It's a 6-year-old watch. It's a like I said, 1967. It's a very old vintage watch. They did do a re-release a few years ago, I believe. And that one still, you're paying a couple grand for that one as well. Me personally, you know what I mean? It is one of my one of the watches that I would love to have, especially after getting this one on my wrist, y'all. Especially after getting this one on my wrist. This one's damn near identical to the original. The only differences is the movement inside of it. This is the NH35 movements, also Seiko movement. You don't get that 62 Mas movement, you know what I'm saying? Just like the original, but nonetheless, like I said, and I said in my previous videos, I love homage watches. Don't get me wrong, Clomage, homage, whatever you want to call it. I love them. I don't have a problem with them. You know what I mean? If I'm not in a position to buy one of these Grail watches, because it is a Grail watch, Seiko 62 Mas. You know what I mean? Ask anybody, ask any Seiko head, you know what I mean? Any watch enthusiasts are in a 62 Mas, you know what I mean? It was one of their first divers. The 62 Mas spawned the tunas, the turtles, a whole different line of diver watches. You know what I'm saying? The design was a reliable and legible design, especially in the hard conditions. You know what I mean? Being underwater diving. The Seiko 62 Mas, it featured a quick set date, which was innovative for its time, you know what I mean? It used a smaller crown in the beginning, but then it transitioned to a bigger crown, which is a lot easier to grip. If you're familiar with any watches that have little crowns, like this one has a good sized crown, you already know that it's hard for you to grip that. So I prefer a bigger crown, you know what I mean? That's just me, but again, most definitely the 62 Mas. It was an iconic design for the world, you know what I mean? Especially for dive watches. It was one of the first divers that was out there, you know what I mean? Many designs came after that. They did a recreation, like I said, of the 62 Mas with the price, you know what I mean? The price is not justified, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's a good money, good watch and all that. Maybe if I was in a position in my life that, you know what I mean, dropping a few grand like that wouldn't really bother me, maybe I would cop it, you know what I mean? But until then, you definitely gotta appreciate these homage watches, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't disappoint at all, ladies and gentlemen. They don't disappoint. I'm a big advocate of these homage watches, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if you can't get the real deal, doesn't mean you have to deprive yourself of having a dope watch, you know what I mean? And Seestern knocks it out the park with this one. You know, this is my first Seestern that I've had in my possession, and I fell in love, y'all. I fell in love with this bad boy, you know what I mean? Let me see. Let's talk about this watch right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 4 variants to this watch. So the Seestern 50 vintage 62 Mas Homage, you know what I mean? You can get it in either this rubber strap, which is dope. You know, I had no complaints about the rubber strap. It was really nice. Just the only thing, for me, it felt too loose on my wrist, and I didn't want to make a hole on the strap. Look, it's branded Seestern. It's a FKM type strap. You know what I mean? 20-inch width. But like I said, it was kind of loose on me. I didn't want to make a hole in it, so I went ahead and threw mine on this NATO. I love NATOs. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. NATOs are clutch. Very dope. Strap monster right here, 20-inch lugs. Let's see. Let me see. Let me pull up this. The one that I got is the one I got is the most the most identical to the original, with that gray sunburst dial in the back. You know what I mean? That looks dope. Like I fell in love with this watch, y'all. It's a 38 millimeter. You know what I mean? 38 millimeter. 38 millimeter. It's a 316 stainless steel with brushed and polished mixed finish. 33 millimeter, including the crown. The movement, like I said, Seiko NH35A automatic. With custom made date wheel. Y'all got to see this Lume. Watch when I get in there. Watch when I show you the Lume. This is the first time I ever saw this on the watch, and that's the reason I ended up going with the Seestern, because to me, I was like, oh, that's dope. That was just like the cherry on top, because there's other brands of Homage watches that do this 62 Mas Homage. There's a San Martin. There's a Steel Dive. There's a who else? I think Hamdaller does the same thing. Watch Dives. But to me, this was the best one. I mean, they had it also on a bracelet, but I ended up going with this one because I had read different reviews about the bracelet. So, I mean, I wish I would have tried it on my own instead of going off the reviews. But sometimes the reviews are right, and you know, I've had a issue with some bracelets recently, especially from Pagani Design. If you know, you know, they're notorious with that. You know what I mean? But so I was like, I didn't want to deal with this, so I went ahead and just, you know, copped the rubber strap. You know, it's nice. Maybe if I gain a little more weight, then my wrist will get fat or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But back to this watch. Let me see. Lug to lug. Let me see. It has a ceramic insert. Ceramic insert in the bezel. It has a unidirectional bezel. Let's see. My apologies, y'all. Trying to find a way to grip this so y'all can see, and I don't block the view of the watch. But the bezel action is really dope. I like the bezel action on here. It sounds really good. Let me see. This sounds really dope. Let me see if I could. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Can you hear that? You know what I mean? The bezel action is really dope. Really dope. I'm really digging it. Come on. My bad, yo. My apologies. I'm like, I have ways of grabbing stuff, but I'm trying to like not to block the view. So I'm trying to like get it, but you know, it turns. You know, it might look like I'm having difficulties, but it's really not. It's really not that difficult. I have a old Seiko Monster that the bezel on that one is, God, it's so hard to turn. I gotta pop that off and lube up the gasket or whatever the case is underneath that. But back to this bad boy. Like I was saying, ceramic bezel, unidirectional bezel. The lug to lug is 46.20 millimeters. Height 13.5 millimeters. The weight on this is 90 grams on the rubber strap. That's the one I got. The strap is the crown is a screw down crown. Crystal is a double dome box sapphire crystal. So, you know, that's a plus. Seiko's new reissue of the 62 Mas came with a sapphire crystal, but again, you're paying up to $4 or $5 grand for that one. You know what I mean? The original 62 Mas did not have a sapphire crystal. Again, what else? Inner AR coating for reflection. You know what I mean? Pretty dope. Really good on that end. And it's a Japanese Lume, glowing green, water resistance 200 meters. You know what I mean? 660 feet. very dope watch. You know what I mean? There's not, I can't like, I got this maybe about a week ago, right? Or maybe 2 weeks ago, and I wore it that night when I copped it, and I couldn't take it off. You know what I mean? I know you saw me with other watches on my wrist checks, and yes, I've worn other watches, but I didn't want to take it off, y'all. Like I didn't want to take it off, and I could just imagine how it feels to have the OG original. But for now, this one scratches that itch for me. It wears so well on the wrist. The size is perfect. The lume is dope. I'm gonna show y'all right now in a minute. Let's take a look at the let's see. Let's take a look at the back of this. So y'all can see real quick. The back, I like the back of this is really dope. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the whole strap, y'all. Let me see, so we can take a little closer look at the watch. Look at that. That looks dope, right? Take a look at that. That's a dope little design from Seestern. The tsunami wave, you know what I mean? Sapphire, a model number, automatic movement, all stainless steel. You know what I'm saying? Signed crown. Apologize if it's a little dirty. Yeah, I'll just go like this because it kind of ruined the footage. Look at that sunburst though on that dial. Beautiful. I was like, that's dope. Look at that color. Everything lines up. Everything's perfect. Look at the sweep on that. Like I said, I wore this that day and I was like, damn, I don't want to take it off. But I have so many watches and I feel guilty when I don't wear them. And I'm like, yo, I got to put these on rotation. So I'm constantly rotating, you know what I mean? But again, y'all, this is a beautiful watch. Like I threw it on yesterday. I threw it on this morning, and my days are mixed up. I work graveyard, so you know what I mean. My nights are my days, and your nights are my days, and you get the gist of it. But like I was saying, I threw it on, and like I don't want to take it off. I love the way this watch feels on the wrist and everything. That makes me want to try out some more Seesterns. You know what I mean? They also make a SKX homage, and definitely digging this watch, y'all. Definitely very, very, very dope. It scratched that itch for the 62 Mas, y'all. And in all honesty, I don't know if I would want to buy a 62 Mas no, you know what? I would want to buy just to compare it to this one and be like, you know what? Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe, like I say, dude, these homages sometimes are so much better than the originals. You know what I mean? I mean, I understand, you know what I mean, what you paying for. You know what I mean? A lot of times we are paying for the name. You know what I mean? That's really where it boils down to. Like, we are paying for the name a lot of times. But again, sometimes we can't afford to go down that route. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I had this other one that I shared yesterday. This is Watch Dives, and this is an homage to CWC. You know what I mean? And the CWC, like $1,000, $2,000 maybe, for not the original but the reissued ones. You know what I mean? I got this for around $100, and fits great, you know, on the wrist as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes like these homages are dope, but like I was saying, man, sometimes these companies, like I love Seiko, don't get me wrong, I love them, but sometimes they're like, for example, the new reissue of the 62 Mas, like you're still paying like a couple grand more than, you know what I mean, like $4,000, I think $5,000 is what I saw. And like this one is way less than that. I believe I paid 100 and something for this, 100 and a half, probably 150. You know what I mean? But with all those specs, yeah, I probably don't get the 62 Mas movement. I don't even, like, I can't even save the original, the reissued. I don't even think the reissued the 62 Mas, it has a different movement. It doesn't have that original movement because, you know, it's been a lot of years since 1965. So I'm sure Seiko has brought out new movements to put in that bad boy. But again, you know what I mean? I don't claim to know everything, y'all. I just, you know what I mean? I talk off the cuff. So every time I get behind this camera, it's just it's a unique experience with me. You know what I mean? You get an exclusive. You know, this is not rehearsed or nothing like I'm saying. But again, y'all, really do appreciate y'all. tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back on the wrist so y'all can see. And I gotta give y'all a Lume shot, you know what I mean? Because the Lume on here is crazy, y'all. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Hit the comments, y'all. Let me know if y'all have any experience with the 62 Seiko 62 Mas. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a couple cats out there, you know what I mean, that've had that one on wrist. And then if you have had any experience with the Homages and other Homage brands, and if you could share your experience, you know what I mean, let me know. If there's another Homage that I missed that I could have got a hold of and I didn't, you know what I'm saying, let me know. Because most definitely, y'all, like I said before in the past, other videos of other Homages, I don't hate on Homages. You know what I mean? Some people can't afford to drop that much money. We got bills, we got families, we got to survive, like, you know what I mean? Especially during these times, but you can't deprive yourself of something you love, your hobby, whatever it is. So yeah, sometimes, you know what I mean? Find ways. But yo, peep that. Look at that. That's so dope, right? God, that's so beautiful. Look at that dial, y'all. I'm serious, like... This is one of those watches that I'm gonna keep on my wrist. Always gonna go gravitate to it. Like sometimes, like you get those kind of watches that just call your name, y'all. You know what I mean? Look, I love watching the way that the hand sweeps across. Seestern automatic 200 millimeter. You know, 200 meters. Water resistant. You know what I mean? Yeah, you see? No problem with the bezel. Lines up perfectly. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all a Lume shot because this Lume shot is crazy. I gotta show y'all real quick. Let me hit these lights real quick. Let me get my. I brought my light. I brought my flashlight this time, y'all. For sure, for sure. Let's see. It's gonna get dark for a little minute, but y'all gotta see this Lume. Y'all gotta see what I was talking about. This is the only Homage brand that I've seen do this. I don't even think Seiko did it on there. But yo, peep that date window. Look at that. Look at that Lume, y'all. Wow. Look at that. Look at that Lume, y'all. Let me see, let me bust out this one. The Watch Dives CWC Homage. This one got more like a blue Lume. Nice, but it don't do this one. God, this is like right there. Right there. Biting on the heels of Seiko, you know what I mean? It's there, y'all. It's there. Really dope. Really, really dope. For real. Look at that. And then that day wheel, though. That day wheel, so I was like, dude, I had never seen that. I had never seen that on a watch. The date wheel being like that. Doesn't want to focus because the light's all off. But y'all see it, though. Look how dope that is. Very dope, right? Very dope, very dope. Yeah, I can't. You know what I mean? I'm lost for words. It's dope. It's dope, y'all. For real, so dope. Definitely digging that one, man. Shout out to Seestern, man. They knocked it out the park with this Homage. You know what I mean? Again, this is only Homage for the 62 Mas that I've had a pleasure to enjoy. So I can't really compare it to any others. If you have experience with any other Homages for the 62 Mas, go ahead and chime in, please, y'all. Let's talk about it. I love chopping it up with my fellow watch geeks, you know what I mean? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy E-Sack, man. Shout out to all my geeks, man. Shout out to everybody who's been tuning in. Shout out to everybody who's been interacting. I really do appreciate every single one of y'all. Until the next video, my name is E-Sack, y'all, and you tuning in to GEEK-SHOCK. Peace.